Welcome to Club Domingo, brought to you by Cyclone Comics.
Are we on?
We're on, and I'm giggling. And, hello, Tim. How's it going?
Hello. Good. How are you, Gary?
I'm going okay. As I said before I pressed record, I was going to have a huge whinge binge this morning, but I decided against it because it just sucks my energy. There's so many things to complain about in the comic scene these days, and I'm not going to do any of it.
These days.
Isn't that a Powderfinger song?
Yeah.
Good band.
There's always shit to complain about.
There always is, and I mean, hey, I'm on my way out. I'm a semi-retired, going out the back door, old cartoonist. I don't know what the new guys have to contend with. Oh, I do know what they have to contend with. I don't know how they contend with all the crap they've got to contend with these days.
Yeah,
but
you can complain about it, Gary. We're here to listen to you whinge.
Don't get me started.
Have you got anything positive to bring to the conversation?
Yeah, positive. What to the things that I want to whinge binge about?
Yeah.
No, there are more observations and whinging than anything else.
But should we bring up even the subject, or not even? The kiddies at home could message us directly. It's nothing huge. Nothing.
It's not all. It was just like the oh God. It was about AI, Tim. It was about AI.
No wonder you don't want to talk about it. Every time I get together with an artist, like we start talking about AI, eventually, if not close to immediately, and I'm sick of it myself. Like I just don't want to talk about it.
But if it doesn't get talked about, does anything get done about it? Are there any answers to the encroaching ubiquitousness of it? Is that the right word? Yeah. Anyway,
ubiquity.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for example, I saw Mark Sexton on the weekend, and AI eventually came up. Thankfully, it was like well into the conversation. It wasn't because once it comes up, it often is the conversation for the next hour. And I just don't want to talk about AI. I want to talk about page layouts. I want to talk about inking techniques. I want to talk about cool stories, but I don't want to talk about AI.
Yeah, don't be a downer, Tim. Just shut up.
So yeah, it did come up while Mark and I were chatting, and it was a different conversation to what you and I were just having, and what I normally have with other creators about AI. So it was kind of interesting just to see how somebody else was dealing with it, and I'm not really at liberty to talk about it. So that was okay, but in general, and when you're talking to the normies as well, and you say you're an artist of any kind, they all start talking about AI, but they'll be excited about it, and they'd be saying, "Yeah, I'll make some stuff in it or whatever," and it's like,
well,
no, I don't want to talk about it.
That's the other thing that happened. That me wearing my normie hat is, like, as you are probably aware, I'm a bit of a fan of Doc Savage and the old pulp characters. And so I'm members of Facebook groups that are a lot of these, fan groups, Doc Savage in particular. And there's one site in particular that is just being swamped with people doing their AI interpretations of Doc Savage. And it's like, oh, come on, give it a break. I mean, I used to enjoy coming to this site, and now it's painful, it's triggering. And so yesterday, the group organizer in particular, I got in touch direct. He's overseas somewhere, and I thought I can't hang around. So I got in touch with him saying, I know you've tried your best to balance the pros and cons of AI usage on the site, as a fan, not even as a professional, just as a fan of Doc Savage, and how to best balance the requirements of the readership to stay valid, or the membership of the group to stay valid. But I can't take it anymore. So I basically bailed out of the group, and I sent him a thanks for your services and your efforts to try and navigate the thorny waters, the rough waters of AI in fandom. And that's not even talking about artwork reproduction or anything like that. It's just purely, I don't want to see that absolute crap draped over a site that I visit for my fan interest. So that's me talking from a fanboy point of view from that angle, not as a professional or semi-pro cartoonist.
Yeah. So that's made me think of something that I hadn't really thought about before, and it's kind of in that example that you're giving, those examples, it's almost like a fan art extension on fan art. Yep. So fan art, the only way that I what's the term, reconcile the fact that fan art is a thing at conventions is that they make things that the actual IP management won't risk. Whether that's like because it's risque or whether it's because the management doesn't know how to make and market key rings or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's not me saying that I think fan art is okay, because that's a whole conversation of its own. But I kind of see that as being a thing. And the same thing with commissions, right? When the fan has an idea for what they want an IP owned character to do something, or to be in an image, or to be drawn in a particular style, which you can't get anywhere else, and then they commission someone to do it. Like, it's all of that kind of stuff. But there's still an empowerment there to the artists that I have to be good enough at drawing that character in a style that the fans are going to want, so that they will buy my fan art. Or I have to be good enough that somebody will want to commission me and popular enough to commission me to do commission pieces. And now the fans can just make anything they want. I guess this is what's happening here. I've actually personally barely ever played with it. The closest I got to it was like in Photoshop a couple of times to see what it could do. And this was probably maybe 18 months ago, and it was just terrible. And I've never even played with it since then. But I can see how a fan would say, I want to see Doc Savage by the fireside with a glass of port in his slippers, and like it would cost $3,000 to get somebody to paint that for you in watercolors and oil.
It's not even that, though. The request that they're putting in is he's standing heroically in front of the South American pyramid from his origin story, and like his shirt is torn. Right, okay, then someone else comes along and says the same version of he's standing heroically in the jungle. And it's the same. They're not even being imaginative in and of itself. The request.
So is this why a lot of fans are fans rather than creators, full stop, that like they can't even get past that first stage of coming up with an original idea?
No, it must be. I don't know. But,
so it does concern me, though. This extrapolation that I'm talking about concerns me in that for a lot of artists, fan art, like while they're in school, while they're in high school, and they think Sonic is the bee's knees, and they're just drawing Sonic all the time in their exercise books when they should be doing maths or whatever, is the way that they learn how to draw, and they learn how to enjoy the act of finishing something after
and
5 minutes, 5 hours.
Putting the work in because the work is fun.
Exactly. And rewarding. Sometimes it's not fun, but the rewarding feeling is fun. And there's going to be like this generation which are going to be just typing it into an AI generator and giggling, with their mates for 5 hours.
I want it now.
That's right.
Five minutes thinking up the right words, and you get yourself an oil painting.
And in like cumulative 5 hours, they'll have pumped out 500 of these things.
Yeah.
And it's like that. Nothing's got value. None of it will have value to them. So they never feel like they're really getting a satisfaction out of the activity. No value to anyone else, because all it is somebody's having a laugh or whatever.
It diminishes everyone.
It diminishes everyone.
Everyone. It diminishes the value of a person who spent their life working on their art. The value of that, the perception of that value is lowered. It just lowers the fun aspect if you're a fan. It just diminishes everyone. And I don't like it.
Again, the talking with my professional peers, it's been a conversation we've had several times, and I hope that we don't do it anymore because it repeats itself. But it's that thing where, well, storyboarding can be done, just feed in the script, and the production design can be done, just feed in the script and the tone and blah blah blah, and it can all be done by AI. And it's like we've talked about the fact that to a certain extent that's true, and then it'll have to be taken over by a human who will figure out the best way to cherry pick what the AI machine is coming up with, right? But the biggest problem with it is that there are no juniors in the art department anymore doing that initial grunt work, the research, understanding how research works and how to apply it, and then applying it visually and all of that stuff. So it's that generation of juniors that are going to not be there to be the seniors later on.
Good point.
But I've never thought about it all the way down to like high school and primary school, and just the act of writing and drawing being something that's being taken away from the kids. It's crazy.
Yeah, indeed. Yes.
Fuck off, AI.
And the other end of the equation, which I can't actually rationalize or reconcile with, is that you've got the bottom feeders that are using AI for scraping art and doing these. I'm calling them bottom feeders. They can feed on my bum. Eat my fart, as Belle says. Eat my fart. But at the other end,
who says that?
Belle does.
Oh, good. Go on, Belle.
No, just say eat my. She says suck my fart. That's it. Suck my fart. Yeah. So, but I love her.
Not much roughage in a fart. You can't really eat it.
Oh well. Yeah. Anyway,
you'll be in trouble. Carry on. Bottom feeders, yes.
At the other end is the original art, the money that is being got for pages of original art these days. Record-breaking amounts on auction over in the States, all based on hand-drawn art that is required by collectors, and the slabbing of comics and the collecting of old comics and all that kind of stuff. That is at risk as well, in that if everything starts going AI, the collector's market, not that I'm a collector, but that's at risk as well. And I can't rationalise the amount of money that's being thrown at a John Byrne X-Men page. Well, I can understand it, but that's a hand-drawn single item piece of original art that is in such demand on the collector's market. And at the other end of the scale, you got these people that are willing to use scraped artwork for free to advertise their comic book event. It's a weird world that we live in, where there's all these areas of what the fuck is that about, and what the fuck is that about, and DGC
and relationships comics don't happen either. Like you not to use the example, but anyone who's using AI to do graphic design, most of the time the excuse is I don't have the money for it, and therefore I would be doing it myself anyway. And it wouldn't look as good as this. And it's like, well, build your grassroots event or business with grassroots looking at advertising and marketing and design, I guess. I don't know. Or get a relationship with someone who will be like a creative partner in what you're doing instead, and figure out how to make that work. It's been working for the last 500 years or 200 years, however long. There must be a way to get that to still work. It's you need to get more creative about how to circumvent using AI instead of people. Even when it's your own self. Case in point, I'm doing a signing at Cockatoo Comics on Saturday. Did you know that?
Where?
I'm doing a Cockatoo Comics on King Street in Newtown.
When?
414. Saturday from 11 till 4 or 5 or midnight or something. I don't know.
Okay. Are you going to be behind the counter or behind the till?
No, I'm going to be behind the drawing board. Far out. Siobhan, wonderful Siobhan, who is the proprietor there at Cockatoo.
The big kahuna.
the biggest of kahunas has sent me a photo of a drawing board that she set up, and I guess I'm sitting behind the drawing board, so I guess I'll be
Wow.
drawing. I don't know what,
Yeah.
but
Is your back going to be to the front door? Watch those dodgy comic readers. They're going to sneak up behind you and do something horrible.
the comic book Sheng Fu or whatever, what do you call it?
Woe fat. No, Feng Shui.
Feng Shui. Yeah, but
Shang-Chi.
but if you just log on to my Instagram and look at the image that I shared from Siobhan of the what we're calling the world's shortest comics residency, because I'll be there for a few hours. Um, she did what she could in the time that she had, and like we're getting hundreds of hits on the thing, and hopefully we'll get 10 people through the door. Who knows? But it's like, well, that's what Cockatoo is. It's grassroots,
That's
and
right.
it's doing what it can with the resources it has.
You can poke the real life artist.
Yes, you can. And if I had time, maybe I would have done a poster, but I don't have time. I'm trying to finish the pages, and so we do what we can. Like,
A fast way of doing that.
Yeah.
No, I can't. Suck my fart.
Fart suckers. Yeah. Did I say that right? That's a close one. Where's Mr. Spooner when you need him?
Anyway.
There we go.
So that's
Far out. Man, I didn't want to talk about AI.
I know, I dragged you into that. You thought you were out, and I kept on dragging you back in.
I dragged you in. I made you say the word.
Yeah. So it's been a bit of a 24 hours of scratching my head and sighing, because there's no short-term solution to it, and there's no answers that pleases everyone. There never is. But how to reconcile it within my head, how broken the whole thing seems, how challenging it is for bringing it back to Australian comics and being an Australian creator, how hard and difficult that is. Navigating Kickstarter, navigating self-publishing, navigating if you want to get freelance work from a publisher in Australia, or publishing work or freelance work for a publisher overseas, whether it be Europe or America, and the hurdles that you have to jump. At the moment, you can't use AI to help you in your career path, because everyone's very diligent professionally as far as entering that arena and risking their reputation as far as using AI. So you need to be old school and learn your skills and learn how to draw and put the hours in, and writing and storytelling and all those things that AI cheapens.
Yeah.
So,
I've talked about my current cohort of students probably a couple of times, I think, and on the show, that is, and they continue to impress with the amount of enthusiasm and dedication that they have. It just feels like a weird leveling up from the last I've been teaching like this for over 12 years now. So, but this seems like a significant little bump.
right. Okay.
And I haven't seen any of them lean on AI at all. And when I bring up the slide that says AI, when we need to talk about it, they groan and everything, which is the right attitude. So that's something. Over that entire period that I've been teaching at JMC, there's been a few instances of plagiarism, maybe, I don't know, 4. This is before AI was invented, so it was just people copying stuff off the internet, old school plagiarism, copying stuff off the internet. And I reckon 2/3 or 3/4 of that, am I underestimating when I say 4? I don't think it was very many. Anyway, almost all of the instances have been through panic because they're too late to get the assignment done.
Right.
And even like ignorance of the difference between doing research to see how other people do things and copying outright, and just not knowing where the gray area is and how far into that you are.
Yeah.
So almost every time I've been able to talk students around from that, and they've been really happy about it. It's been a
lesson learned.
A good, wholesome learning experience for them. And I'm just again obviously concerned about students coming forward, leaning on AI. But at this point, none of them want to. Like they just don't want to. They just want to draw. But
It's like
maybe it'll just
if you want to be
go on.
a swimmer, an Olympic swimmer, for example, you have to get wet at some stage, and you have to swim those laps.
Got to get wet at some stage. I love it.
You can't just wear the swimmers and look fantastic and get on the blocks and pose. You actually have to dive in and start swimming. And that's what the AI sort of doesn't do, is do the laps for you.
Yeah, interesting. Very well said. Anyway, let's fuck that subject off. I hate it.
Yeah, okay. AI can suck my fart. I think that's our new corporate saying.
Let's get a t-shirt made.
It's got legs.
It sure does.
That's where farts come from between legs. See,
I'm going to write that one down. It's got legs. Comes from between legs anyway.
Yeah, it's cheeky.
All righty. All right.
Right, yeah.
So as usual, we come to the show with empty heads and empty lists, and here we are. Like I don't know.
Oh well, we can do it very quickly before we take a break. I saw Masters of the Universe the other day.
Did you?
I did.
How was that?
That was pretty interesting. My takeaway of it was I wasn't the target market.
Right.
And did you ever see the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Amongst Thieves, that one that was out a couple of years ago? Oh, okay.
Nope.
Well, I placed Masters of the Universe in my mental cataloguing system. I put Masters of the Universe right next to Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Amongst Thieves, as far as...
Which so many people love.
Well, yeah, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about Masters of the Universe as well. Now, I watched it from a point of view where I didn't own the toys. I wasn't a fan, didn't know much about it.
Me too.
Yeah, total newbie. All I knew was that there was a blonde buff guy with a Prince Valiant hairdo and a big sword. And that was...
Just like you, Gary.
Back in the day, yes.
There you go. That's a good way to...
I should dig out my Prince Valiant hairdo photos. Yeah.
Fantastic. Anyway,
yeah. So I watched it realizing that I wasn't the target market, that it skewed a bit younger in a lot of ways, but there was some humor, some jokes there for the adults, which was a little bit in bad taste. I thought that played against there was 90% aimed towards the kids to get a new market, and there was 10%, these are for the fans that collected the toys back in the 70s and 80s. So there was a bit of a unusual tone shift there sometimes. I was trying to think. It was like a dog looking at you, tilting its head, you know.
I was wondering what they could be, and now I'm going, oh, that's right. There is that one character with that name.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Exactly, yes. So there was all of that kind of humour, and then there was the general tone of the film itself, which was a little bit wonky and uneven in spots, but I enjoyed myself. But you know, it is what it is. But and I said the same thing about the Dungeons and Dragons movie as well. That I have never played a role-playing Dungeons and Dragons game, and the movie ticked a certain amount of boxes. But if you were into it, you would probably get a lot more out of it than what I did. So yeah.
They're interesting, those movies. So you saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Is it a bunch of players who then get sucked into a Dungeons and Dragons game for real, or is it just
not if I remember the plot correctly? It's just it was a fantasy, setting in.
So it's just a fantasy. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the quality of the special effects and the quality of the acting and the quality of the plot and dialogue for me, they're about on par with each other as a what do you call it? Not a spin-off, but a movie that was taken after a toy
derivative.
A derivative. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, that worthwhile mentioning. So if anyone's got any,
so I've never been into Masters of the Universe either. So I guess because of my age, I don't know. Never watched it on television. Never had the toys or anything. So it doesn't interest me in the slightest. When they start talking about it and I start to see the trailer online, I start to say, oh, that looks like it might be fun. And then I go, but I don't care. And I'm not going to care enough to spend the Saturday afternoon watching it, sort of thing, I guess. I don't know. Um, and then I think, what toys like from my childhood, like would they even bother? Like
$6 million
Action
man
Jackson.
action figure.
No, it's the other way around. I've already
Right.
got the action figure based on the IP, not the
Oh,
other way around.
okay.
Because I'm not a Transformers person either. I'm not a GI Joe person. The GI Joe that we had when I was young was a was not the GI Joe kind of special secret
Right. Oh,
super
okay.
agent sort of thing. There was just a guy in a army outfit.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's that interesting kind of period where toys and IP and then building marketing from Saturday morning cartoons and all of that kind of stuff.
The other thing, talking of those derivative shows, I can never understand I haven't understood the love for X-Men, that animated show that's come back, X-Men 97.
97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how the animation is so shit. So
So is
absolutely.
is the new animation shit, or are you looking at
Yes,
the original?
because it's modelled
Oh,
after the original style
oh,
that was from back in the 90s. And so they're
yeah.
releasing this new material that's done in the same style, and it does my head in. Sorry, I know that there are probably huge fans of it, and they love the fact that it's just like
I
what
love
was
it.
back in the day. They absolutely love it. And I'm there going, this artwork is just rushed
Yeah.
shit, rushed, bloody, oh yeah, churn it
Yeah.
out.
So
Yeah, it
so
feels
I
good
don't
getting it off my
understand it
chest.
either.
Binge.
I, I don't understand it either, but uh when the first season of 97 came out, I thought I'll watch the old stuff and come to the new stuff because the new stuff should be good. So like every other lunchtime or something, I'll put on the next episode of the original X-Men cartoons, and they are terrible. And I get a little fanboy like glow when I see the work based on Cockrum or on Byrne, and I go, that's kind of interesting, but yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Anyway.
terrible.
So anyway,
Okay,
the X-Men cartoon.
so
If you're into the X-Men cartoon, that's totally fine. I'm just having a bit of a very petty whinge. I can understand why they want to emulate the way it was done back in the day, trying to recapture
you
the.
know, on top of that, like I've never read Invincible, and I hear it's really good, but I think I've read enough of the deconstruction and maturation of the superhero idea. I don't feel like I need to read Invincible, and I definitely haven't watched the show. And people tell me that the animation's really great, and I'm sure it is really great when compared to Saturday morning cartoons. But it's unless it's like really artistically appealing, not just American
Yeah,
flat color line work. I'm not going to watch it for the art.
yeah,
If I'm not interested in the story and I'm not watching it for the art, then you've lost me. And again, that's fine because it's hugely popular, as is the comic book. And I'm sure the comic book should be. That's just because I'm not reading it doesn't mean that I'm not reading it because it's bad. I'm just not reading it because it's not really appealing at this point.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we like, did you ever read Martial Law back in the day? People
Mm.
bring up Invincible and you go, have you read Martial Law? Like, I
I
don't
don't know
know
any
if
of
there's
them.
a crossover, but it's like, I was watching superheroes getting torn apart well before the boys, like 20, 40 years before the boys,
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm kind of a bit over it, but
Yeah, if you want
uh,
immature ultra violence, you've been there first, man.
that's right. I watched the OG. Um, I don't know if you ever watched Arcane on television, which is based on the video game, which I've never played, have no idea anything
No.
about. But it's some of the best television I've ever seen, whether it's animated or live action or whatever. It was so good. But then you add on top of that artistically it's just gorgeous to look at. And it's like, are we only getting two seasons? Like, can
Yeah,
we please have more? So yeah, you've got to really impress me for me to want to watch
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And then again, I'm playing catch up on all the Marvel shows when I'm winding down at night, which is a stupid thing to do. Like I watched a bit like, oh, what were I can't remember them already. I'm watching Hellstrom at the moment, which is okay. It's
Oh,
good, but
oh, that's one I was
there's
totally missed. I mean, wow.
There's nothing in it that's really gonna, change my life or my artistic practice. But whatever, I'm still watching it.
And having done so much time in the trenches doing storyboarding, do you see and judge animation differently to perhaps other people?
I don't think my time in storyboards is really the factor there. It's just the fact that I'm an artist, and that I've watched enough moving pictures with a critical eye that I go, well,
Right,
what a shit piece of animation, or what a shit angle to be choosing, or I can see why they're being lazy with this, and so yeah, that's more the case there.
Right. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
So let me tell you though, I saw Spider-Man. Anne-Marie and Samuel and I saw Spider-Man on opening night on Thursday. We went and bought tickets to that, and that was really good fun. I had fun with that. It's not life-changing, but it was really good fun. It's like most stuff like that, though. Don't go thinking about it too much, because then you'll start to see all the problems, and I don't want to see the problems. That's a popcorn movie, like He-Man would have been, and the G.I. Joe movies, etc., etc. So I go in with actually no idea what the story was, because I haven't seen a single trailer and I've seen almost no stills. And I just go in and say, "Take me on a ride, Peter, and we'll see what happens." And that was a good fun ride. I enjoyed it more than the last one. No, the last two. I enjoyed it much more than the last two.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I pretty much know what's going on through social media with the spoilers and stuff like that. You just get pummeled with it, and before long, you have this hodgepodge plot in your head of, oh, that's kind of sort of what it's about. So there's not much.
The only piece of data that doesn't understand that I don't want to see anything related to these movies is Google. Is that what it's called? The Google app on my phone. It keeps on putting up news stories about what's happening in the Marvel universe or whatever. But I've trained most of my social media to not bother showing me trailers for the next movie, because I just swipe right past them very quickly.
But the window for official spoilers and articles about what's happening in there is getting slowly closed.
Yeah.
So you'll start getting these articles on opening night. You go in on Thursday night or something like that, and you come home and you can read all these spoilery reviews about it, and it's like, no, there used to be at least a withholding period of a weekend, perhaps, if you're lucky.
You tell the kiddies at home that we used to have to wait 6 to 12 months for a film to even get to our shores, because they couldn't be bothered printing another set of frames to ship over in time for like a worldwide release. We'd be getting whatever they were showing in American cities. They'd put it on a boat eventually, and send it over to us, and that's when we get to see it.
Before long, we'll be getting plot and review articles before the movie is released.
Always. It already happens. Already happens.
Yeah.
Always fair.
Suck my fart.
So that was good. It's worth seeing on the big screen. It was well over 2 hours, and even Anne-Marie said, "Is it over?" Like it was actually a good time for the whole time, and yeah.
Was there some juicy mid and back end of credit scenes? Was there? No. Okay.
No, I don't think there was not a mid one, because we all went, oh, when it went from the visually appealing credits to just the scroll, and there was nothing, and there was an audible sigh from the audience, and then the post credit piece. Just look it up online; it's not worth waiting for. But I tell you what, we went to basically a full cinema, which I haven't done for a long time.
Wow!
And it was a really nice range of people, and they were all really respectful of being in a room with other humans. It was really interesting for once. Barely saw any phones turned on at any point.
No groping or anything like that.
Hey?
No groping or anything like that.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what I got up to while we were watching the film. I'm talking about the audience.
Doc Ockleys.
But it was really great to see, to hear cheering and sighing and clapping, and it was a really cool audience to go with. Again, that might only last for the first week or first couple of nights. I don't know, but been a while since I saw a film like that, and that was good fun. So it was worth seeing. That one's worth seeing. And then as we were leaving, I went, oh shit, We didn't even see Supergirl. I was kind of interested in that one. I guess that's not showing anymore. Like it's like a totally gone.
A
And
revolving door.
yeah,
Yeah.
so quick. I actually wanted to see that one on the big screen rather than my crummy television.
Yeah.
But
What is heartening with Spider-Man though is that it's bucked the trend of actually making money, like good money. That the interest in a Marvel movie is still there. While
yeah,
everyone was dooming and glooming a little bit about it, it's good that it's bucked the trend.
they got to make a good movie with appealing, engaging characters.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard, and yet it seems so hard.
You know how you can do it for free and much cheaper.
Make a comic book.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Good point. More comics more often. The basis of a
That's
good
where
movie.
that's where fan stories come from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm glad you enjoyed your cinematic experience. Have you seen
yeah, it was
Have you
cool.
seen the Odyssey? Have you got any intention on seeing
No,
it?
but I think we're going to try to see it this weekend. Because after this weekend, I'm on the road for I think 3 weekends in a row at different conventions. So
Right, yeah, you sell out, just doing the flogging hard.
God forbid I want people to buy my comic.
you you sell out. You got all that lovely hard work on the wall behind you there, and then you go out
Yeah,
and get money for it. Filthy lucre, cursed money.
totally inked.
There's
Totally inked. There's the last 2 pages finished.
not much black on those pages.
Yeah, there's not because that's taking place in the daytime.
Oh
So
god,
trying to get some
taking
variety.
shortcuts by like setting stories in the daytime so they don't use up as much black ink.
That's right. Because I've got to save money. No one's buying the comic. Where am I going to buy ink?
Uh,
Um,
uh,
I,
yes.
I sent you some. No, I don't think I did the printout. Did I do a printout? I thought I did. Sent you some terrible front cover ideas, didn't I? And
Yeah, that's right. We're going to like talk about covers. Yeah, and you're going through cover layout decision making hell at the moment, aren't you?
oh, not hell, but
Okay.
not fun.
Limbo,
Yeah,
purgatory.
yeah. I should have just typed it into AI and asked the AI for some.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the mock-up I sent to you of one of a few,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
Trevor and Rufus and Hairbutt.
Yep.
And I drew the three of them separately so I could kind of mess with it a little bit and move them in and out um and uh and in the end it's like it's just not working and it's actually pretty boring. And I knew it would be kind of boring, but I was hoping it was going to at least be solid, and it's just I don't know. And I think a larger issue is that the two characters flanking Trevor are so different physically that it was really hard to balance what I was drawing.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
And I know that Killaroo there needs some work. He doesn't really look kangaroo-y enough. But I'm pretty happy with my hair, um, but that one's gone, chucked out. And they're like A3 size illustrations that I'm probably never going to finish. There's the
Right.
hair, but
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's
maybe
lovely.
I'll finish it. Maybe that's what I'll take to
That's a
kangaroo
great
to
idea.
cockatoo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Finish
that.
them off as single portraits. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have been struggling with the cover like for months and months, trying to figure out what it would be, and that the reason why I decided to go with that or to attempt that was
Mm.
because that's the one that's been stuck in my head most of the time.
Yep, right.
And I thought that'll work, that'll be fine, and I've got to get it done. And it's a little bit iconic. I was trying to make something iconic that I could maybe replicate every issue with Trevor and two other characters or five other characters, whatever it might be.
Yep.
I sent it to Samuel as well, my son, and one of his suggestions was to do, and he didn't relate it to this, but to do what the main influence for that cover was, which was to raise the point of view higher, to do a down shot, which would have been more dynamic, right? Instead of a front shot to look down, which in my mind would be emulating those
Kevin
Justice
Maguire.
League. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. Kevin Maguire. Yeah. Which I was intentionally going to go for at one point. and I thought, I don't know if this isn't working. I mean, to try to get the two characters over Trevor's shoulder in a down shot and fill the space properly, and I didn't even attempt it.
Yeah.
Um, but something we talked about on this show previously was to try to emulate the X-Men cover from Jim Lee from whatever issue of X-Men that was. Is it 268?
That's been the inspiration for many, many, many covers.
Yeah. And I forgot until I was nearly finished it.
But
nearly finished
for good reason.
penciling.
It's a pretty solid layout.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Rufus the Killaroo has already been on a cover homaging that by Stuart Black. And I'm going, oh, Stuart did one as well. Anyway, I'm not going to give up. So I did this rough on a printout. I did this rough and I went, that
like
seems to work.
I liked, and then the expression on Killaroo's face with his ears back and the expression on Trevor's face, everyone's looking like unimpressed and angry. I quite like that. So are you still comfortable with that? You've worked it up. Yeah. Yeah, that looks great.
So we're getting there. I'm not sure what to do with Hairbutt's guns. I might have to stick some extra paper on and make the gun come out a little bit further. But he'll have two guns and Rufus has got a knife and we're all looking a little bit aggro. And that's a bit more exciting, I think.
Yeah. The other Hairbutt hand could be holding a bottle of Plonk.
Oh, great idea. Yeah. Very cool. Very good. So I'm pleased enough with that I'm not going to give up on that one.
Yeah, I think that's good. Lock it in and then keep on going down that road. I think the problem that original one had with the arms cross pose, again, was as you mentioned, was the physicalness of the three characters. That Trevor is so short, so wide, and Hairbutt is so wide, and Killaroo is so muscle bound that it had thin characters. It would have worked a lot better, but you don't. You have the big, bulky characters that get in the way of themselves.
Yeah. All good. I might at least finish the Trevor one. That's a pretty nice one of young man Trevor, like just as he's starting to go to work. He's not at uni anymore, but he's not middle aged and full of weight. I'm pretty.
That pencil version of Hairbutt is quite nice as well. The other one just started, but he looks great. Yeah. Yes, very nice indeed.
That was hard to get my head around a little bit. And I looked at quite a bit of Jason's recent Hairbutt drawings to try to figure out what he's doing with bulk and neck and how it all kind of connects. And I've got like, and I don't know, and I'll try to ask Jason if I can remember, because it'd be interesting to find out. Just moving this away from my cup of tea. Is that he sent me when we were working on the team up that's in Greener Pastures team up number 1 and 2. At one point he sent me pencils and I was looking at the pencils going, that should give me some hints. I'll see the construction that he uses. He doesn't use any construction. He's drawn like so many thousand pages that he's just able to draw whatever he needs to draw. And like even guns and cars and buildings, it's like, man, he must be able to pump out like 10 times the number of pages I can, because he's like not even because of being particular with inking or anything like that. It's just the fact that he's able to put the pieces on the page so much quicker. So
it all just becomes automatic, easy for him. Speaking of,
pretty happy with that. Yeah, go on.
I was kindly sent some advanced copies of issues 3 and 4 of Wolfen by Beaumont Jardine. It's the 4th issue, and that's the 3rd issue. Whoop.
How's it going? Oh, a nice cover there. Whoosh.
And lovely moony back cover, and back cover there as well. But
he knows how to draw a wolf.
In the 4th issue, the last issue, there's a little treasure buried at the back of the book, which I don't even think that you're aware of. But he has included an unpublished Chris Wahl story from many years ago. And so
Wow.
I hope Bo doesn't mind. But bonus pages, I'll just read his little intro here.
Whoosh.
Many years ago, I wrote a comic book called A Stranger Danger. It was meant to have different chapters drawn by various artists. The only part that remains was this 8-page chapter from Chris Wahl entitled Wolf at the Door. Chris is an amazing artist, and I felt privileged to work with him. It felt horrible to ink over his pencils. Then it was even harder to rub his pencils out. I hope you guys enjoy, and my thanks to Chris. So
Incredible.
it's up on Kickstarter at the moment, but there's some
Oh my God.
Chris Wahl artwork there, just to give you a taste. So this is the initial board.
Yeah, like Bo's work is worth the price of admission. Obviously, crazy werewolf shenanigans to blow your mind, but yeah, to get some was it 1990s Chris Wahl, early 2000s Chris Wahl pages, and like I'm so keen to see what they look like inked by Bo. That's interesting.
They look fantastic. The pages look very sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
So
I can already see from this distance the meshing of the styles, because Bo's got a very specific kind of black and white like the way that he puts down black and white is pretty recognizable to me, at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool. I haven't backed that yet. I've got to get on it.
Yeah, the campaign's live now for a while. It's going quite well. But issues 3 and 4, you can get issues 1 and 2 in that campaign as well. But yeah, there's a little nugget of goodness in the back of issue 4 that is worth tracking down. So highly recommended.
I wonder if he scanned the pencils before he inked them.
I don't know. He inked them years ago, so who knows what's... he's got a pretty repository of artwork there. He's got folders and folders and folders, apparently, of old artwork. So yeah, he might have had photocopies, but who knows? Yeah. You do some silly things over the years and then years down the track you go, I wonder if, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I didn't take a scan of that or whatever. Yeah. So I think that's all I got on my list.
Cool. Have we got some time left?
Yeah.
You reckon? So I know this is not Australian, but I saw Dylan Horrocks, famous for doing Hicksville, our New Zealand compadre. Dylan Horrocks is publishing the work that he's making as part of his PhD. I don't think it's a master's. I think it's a PhD. Right. And I bought it off him, and he very kindly put in a couple more things for me as well. So this is what I got from Dylan Horrocks.
Yes.
So it's wonderful. I got this from 2016. I've actually got a copy of it already, but I think if I remember rightly, I actually spilled something on it. So I'm glad I've got another copy. But he's famous for his one-man anthology Pickle, which was a bit of a thing at the time. There's not so many one-man anthologies now. So this was like a special one called Fault Lines, which was about the earthquake. So really, interesting art, a panel per page kind of thing. Yeah. So Dylan moves from let me pull out something from, very recognizable comic stuff to stuff that feels a little bit more like poetry in visual form. So he sent me this issue, which I don't have, which is amazing, with 4 short stories and some sketchbook stuff in it. So that's really great. But the really interesting thing is this Secret Door issues 1 and 2, which are reasonably thick, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I think we talked about this before, so I'll try to be brief. That's the back covers. Part of his PhD or master's is about storytelling, but about role-playing games and about comics as well, and about himself as a person and a storyteller. So it's a lot of different things kind of all mixed in there together. So yeah, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, right? That's an important aspect of what he's doing. And I'm super keen to get into these. So you can buy these from I think it's hicksvillepress.com not his usual Hicksville website. So I think it's hicksville.co.nz and hicksvillepress.co.nz. So it's got comics in it, which is what I'm here for, right? Always here for the comics, the wonderful
Yeah.
Dylan Horrocks comics.
Yeah.
Looks like it's now being digitally lettered, but with a custom-made typeface.
Right. Is it all
But there's
comics
also like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, is it all comics? But you're about to cover that.
No, there's essays and other musings in here as well. You know, a number of pages. Which, being the completist I am, even though I'm not a role player at all, I'll be reading through that as well because I'm sure that it will
Inform.
help to inform. Thank you. Help to inform the reading. But one of the things Dylan told me was that the storytelling is a bit of a choose your own adventure kind of diverging timeliney thing about his own life. What if I decided I'd be a novelist after all, which was one thing he was thinking of? What if I decided that I wouldn't get married? How would that have affected? So he's got this thing at the back, which I haven't read yet, but I had a quick look through. These are your kind of D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, like character pages.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, but it's like versions, from what I can tell, it's versions of Dylan Horrocks.
Right.
From all of so
how come the cartoonist is so bent over and
right. So we've got academic and actor. So I didn't know he ever wanted to be an actor, but there you go, academic and actor. Bookseller, because I knew he worked in a bookshop, but cartoonist, the most decrepit of the four. Games designer, writer. So, or maybe the writer's a little bit more decrepit, actually. So I'm like super keen. That was issue 2. Issue 1's also got comics in it and written material.
Nice.
So
cool.
Just look that up. If any of those things float your boat, and if you're listening to Gary and I, you know, you're here for comics. But if you're a D&D person as well, this stuff, I'm sure, is going to be really interesting reading for those of you that like both those things. So very glad I got onto that. I bought them immediately, worrying that there was going to be like a short print run or something. I think I've missed out on other Horrocks stuff in the past because of that.
Right.
Love his work.
Yeah.
So you know Trevor Bovis, my character from Greener Pastures. You know, in does it ring a bell at all, Gary? Do you know that in story, he's actually a comic book and pop culture fan. So he buys comics and reads comics, and once he's a rich lawyer, he's buying, you know, nerd stuff like full size stormtrooper outfits and blah blah blah. And you know that. And you know that Dylan Horrocks made this comic called Hicksville, which is one of my favorite comics ever. Is it still sitting here? Yeah, it's still sitting here. About a place in New Zealand where everybody reads comics, and there's no, I won't give it away, but there's like the library is all about comics, and everybody reads comics and blah blah blah. And I said to Dylan like a month or 3 ago, I said, Greener Pastures team up. Wouldn't it be interesting if Trevor visited Hicksville? And he's going, oh, that sounds like fun. So I think he's seriously thinking about it when he finds time. When do we all ever find time? But
make time for that. Make time for it.
That'd be amazing. And I inked, I'm sure I've said this on the show before, but I inked a panel of Horrocks's pencil work when I did an Inktober once where I was inking people's work for fun. And it's really fun to ink. So I would love it if he was to write and pencil like an 8 to 88 page story for me
that would be
ink.
Mighty.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. So hopefully, now that I've got these, I've got a reason to write back to him again and thank him and to give him a nudge on that as well.
Yeah, excellent. Well, that's a nice uplifting note to finish on, I think, for this week.
Thank God. Thank God for
don't go there, don't
and Chris. For Bo and Chris and Dylan, thank God for wonderful people making real art coming from their soul. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, now just keep the kids busy for a couple of seconds while I do my find the right button to
keep the kids busy. I just did for I don't know how long.
No, that's okay. I've got the buttons here. That
One day I'm going to remind you to get that all up and running before we even get on.
Well, like, suck my fart.
Exactly. Kiddies, go out there, make the t-shirt about sucking farts, and just get Gary in for 50%.
That's
and
right.
He'll buy some roses for Belle.
Tim, have a great day this Saturday at Cockatoo.
Thanks. I hope I see you all there. I'll see you there, Gary.
Yeah, okay. I'll bring sandwiches.
Fantastic. More comics more often.
More comics more often. God damn it. Next week, I hope to show some that I've been working on.
Please do.
Okay.
Please do.
Bye.
See you, kiddies.